Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Off-Farm Income Podcast. Hey, thank you so much for joining us here on episode number 1087 and on our YouTube channel, everybody. Well, today we are going to talk about the firewood business. You know, a lot of our country is covered in woods, and there's a lot of wood out there. There's a lot of trees falling over, and our guest today has taken advantage of that, pulling up on people's properties, saying, hey, you've got trees down. Would you like them cleaned up? I'll do it in exchange for the wood, and then turning that into a lucrative business. So today we are speaking with Mr. Elliot Scheaffer, coming to us from Sheldon High School in Sheldon, Iowa. He's going to be talking to us all about this business, how he got it going, how he improved it, and where it's going from here. We'll get that started for you right now. Elliot, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Yeah, great to be here, I guess.
Oh man, that's a mark of confidence right there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully by the time we get done with this interview, you will think this was a great experience. Where are you talking to us from right now? Where are you at?
I'm at the high school in Sheldon here in my ag room. So
In your ag room. Okay.
That's where I'm from.
In Sheldon, Iowa, right?
Yes. Yep. Sheldon,
Okay.
Iowa, northwest corner of Iowa.
Okay. Very cool. Now you're just getting ready to wrap up school and you're a senior. So this is going to be your final year of FFA?
Yep.
Okay.
I will be enrolled in the chapter next year, but I will not participate as I'm going on to the national competition for my proficiency and star agribusiness. So I will be a chapter member, but not really involved in the chapter.
Got it. Good for you. Well, good. Let's talk about that here in a little while. Now, how long have you been part of the FFA?
I just got involved freshman year of high school and wasn't an officer my first year, but was an officer all 3 years after that. So that was I just got involved through, like club recruitment in the middle school level. So,
okay. So, somebody like at the end of 8th grade or something like that, somebody came in your class, talked to you about the FFA and you thought you'd give it a shot? Okay.
Yep. That's what happened. Okay. So, and here I am today.
All right. Now it looks like you got some backup in the room with you. Who you keep looking at?
My ag teacher's in here with me. He kind of knows how to run the equipment here. So.
Oh, so that's Mr. Fox, right?
Yep. Mr. Fox.
Okay. Well,
he kind of pushed me to apply for the awards and stuff. So.
Okay. Well,
wouldn't be here without him.
You'll have to thank him for setting up this interview for me.
Yeah, I will.
All right. So now, had you been involved or exposed to agriculture or anything like that before that recruitment and deciding to join the FFA?
Yeah, both my grandparents farm. My family does not farm. We live on acreage, have a couple cattle. I work for farmers. It's a pretty farming rich community in Sheldon here. So, there's always agriculture. Everything's agriculture here. So.
Okay. So you had that exposure and grandparents on both sides farm? Did I catch that correctly? Okay.
Yes.
Are we talking like corn and soybeans, that type of thing, or what are we talking about?
Yep. My grandpa in Iowa used corn and soybeans, did hog confinement work, and he had a farrowing unit and did some feedlot cattle. My grandpa on my dad's side lives in North Dakota. He ranches and does row crops as well. So.
Okay. Gotcha. And so now when you're at home, you're on a smaller acreage with a few cows. Did I understand that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And is that just for fun, or you guys just use that for producing your own beef? Or, I mean, what are we talking about there? Tell me about the operation.
Yep. We produce our own beef. We've been experimenting with Jersey dairy steers. Jersey cows are a dairy breed, but it's kind of interesting when you try to feed them for beef production. Uh-huh. Using those dairy genetics as a beef production it's been fun, and it's some great beef if you ever can get your hands on some. It's pretty good.
Okay. Very good. All right. Well, that's great. And so next year, where will you be headed?
There's a community college, Northwest Iowa Community College in Sheldon. I'm going to go for engineering and design, hopefully go into the welding program as well. So that's my plan for next year.
Okay. Engineering and design. So you like creating things?
Yep. I do.
All right. Now, you mentioned that you've been an officer for a few years. What position do you hold currently?
I'm currently the president of our chapter in Sheldon.
Okay. President, or when do you guys name your new officers?
So we have a banquet in May that the new officers that are selected are announced. So I have transitioned the next president into the chapter.
Got it.
Already.
Cool. Good for you. Well, man, that's great. So why did you decide to become an officer? What was it about that you decided to do it?
I just think being an officer is a great way to serve in the community as well as in the chapter. You get chances to serve in your community through FFA and as an officer more so than as just a chapter member, organizing events and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good for you. And then so you get to do outreach with your community and I guess teach them about the FFA or about your chapter and the things you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we do we sponsor a meal around Thanksgiving. We buy turkeys for this Unity meal, it's called, in Sheldon.
Okay.
So that's one example of a way.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Let's talk about your supervised agricultural experience. So I read an article about what you've been doing and saw that you'd won an award. Can you tell everybody what it is?
So my SAE is I sell firewood just in bulk quantities. I sell it by the pallet. So I usually say my pallets are about a half of a cord. Okay. I sell a pallet for $80 and I deliver the pallets within a certain miles, and then I charge delivery after that. So that's kind of a little bit about how I run my business.
Okay. Well, when did you start this?
I started, I'd say I was splitting and selling bundled wood in 8th grade, but when I was able to drive around sophomore year, it really took off. I was making a lot more money than doing the bundles or, not being able to deliver the wood.
Okay. Interesting. Now, is this wood coming from, do you have woods on your family's property, or where is this all coming from?
Well, it started when we had an ice storm, and the ice storm had taken down a bunch of trees, and we had a pile of dry wood that was able to be processed into firewood to kind of get me going. But once that ran out, I noticed when I was driving around that there's a bunch of trees that are down and nobody's really cleaning them up. So I started offering to clean up those trees in exchange for just having the wood to be able to sell.
Aha. Okay. So you're offering a service to the folks that have that wood, and in exchange, you're taking the wood, no money or anything like that, but you're taking the wood and being able to sell it.
Just exchange labor.
That is very enterprising. That's a great idea.
Yep. It's done well for me. So.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear it. So let me ask you about this delivery part. So you're delivering, you're stacking your wood on a pallet, and you're delivering that way. Are you delivering, are you taking the pallet off of the truck and just leaving the pallet with the people, or are you just tossing the wood off the pallet? How's that part work?
I've done it both ways. If they have the equipment to unload it, they can do that. But I usually like to keep those pallets. I use it's called an IBC tote. You get chemical in them, they're plastic insert. I take the plastic out and I cut one side of that out, and it's kind of like a cage. Okay. So I like to keep those. So I usually just unload those off the trailer and stack it wherever they want to put it.
Got it. Okay. So if they've got a forklift or something like that, a heister or something like that, they can get it off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Now, I think I read something in the article about you getting a log splitter. Did I remember that correctly?
Yeah.
Okay. And it said that was kind of a pivotal moment in your business. It really beefed up your business. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, I first bought a little horizontal vertical log splitter just to get started. And then the second log splitter I bought mounts onto the skid loader.
Okay.
And then that allows me to split the bigger stuff I can't get positioned to split with the smaller log splitter.
Gotcha. So that's on a skid steer?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. And so did that up your efficiency? Are you able to split a lot more wood in a shorter amount of time?
It didn't upgrade efficiency. It more upgraded my efficiency in terms of waste, because before I was just leaving those bigger logs that I couldn't get just on a pile to get to someday, but now I'm able to get the usable firewood out of those. So.
Okay. Excellent. Now, did you take profits from your business and reinvest it back in to buy this particular piece of equipment?
Yes.
Good for
All
you.
my equipment purchase has been from profits, other than the initial log splitter that I bought.
Okay. And so the initial log splitter, how about a chainsaw when you first started out?
Yep. So my dad had a little 18-inch Echo chainsaw that I've been using and still using.
Okay.
Works really good. And now I've purchased a couple steel chainsaws, getting bigger saws for bigger trees, as the project grows. So.
Okay. And I'm guessing that you've learned how to sharpen chains pretty well.
Yeah. Yep. That's kind of a money saver when you're going through chains that fast. It's nice to be able to know how to sharpen them.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, good for you. I've never mastered that. I've tried, and then all of a sudden I'll cut like in a C shape, and I'm like, well, I'm not very good at sharpening chains. So
Yeah.
good for you. You definitely have to have that skill if you're going to have this as a business. That's really fun. So you've kind of got the equipment part down. You are able to harvest a lot more wood now with the new equipment. You've reinvested profits. Tell me how you found customers. How do you find people to sell this wood to?
So presently, it's just kind of word of mouth. I started getting a good customer base through Facebook Marketplace and local swap groups on Facebook, which I did not think that was going to work as well as it did. But
Okay.
I noticed you put a post on Facebook and you'll get 10 orders in the next week. So that really helped me grow my customer base. But now I'm just kind of servicing those customers that I've already sold to. And I do not currently have an ad up on Facebook.
Is that because you just got so busy? It's like, I don't want any new customers, or
Yeah. Well, the wood business has always been a side job for me. It's never been my main source of income. So it's kind of when I have time, I'll throw an ad up, get a bunch of customers, take the ad down, and then just service those people that have now bought from me and are continuing to buy firewood.
And so how many months out of the year are you actively cutting and selling wood, splitting wood?
12 months out of the year. I'm always running a saw, always running a splitter.
Okay.
I try to be able to sell wood in the winter for, wood stoves when people go short on wood. They don't have enough in the fall. I like to be able to help them out, get them some wood in the winter.
Okay.
Because some guys are heating their houses,
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. In the summer, are you selling to people that are doing like camping trips and stuff like that?
Yep. I sell a lot in the summer. I sell like 1 or 2 pallets to a person. In the winter, I'll sell like 6 or 8, just bulk in the winter, and a lot of little ones in the summer.
Okay. And when you deliver, are you stacking too?
Yes. Yep.
Man, I can't believe this is just your side income. It sounds like you would constantly be working in this business.
Yeah, I kind of am. Nights usually it's cutting up trees, splitting trees, and up till then it's school or work or whatever it is.
Okay. Well, what do you like about working for yourself?
Oh, not having somebody telling you what to do all the time, I'd say. But that's any self-employed, I guess.
Yeah, well, that's a pretty typical answer, but it's kind of nice to be able to make your own decisions and make your own hours and do all that. Okay, well, let's talk about your proficiency award. So what have you received so far, and what are you going to be applying for next year?
So I was one of 4 finalists in the agribusiness award, but the proficiency award, there was me and another guy were finalists, and then I was first place proficiency at the state level, and I will move on to the national proficiency award.
That is great. And I think
selection.
Did you say earlier it was in agribusiness or something like that?
The proficiency award was in forest and products management. The agribusiness was just in business management.
Gotcha. Okay. Very cool. So then you'll be competing at a national level for a national proficiency award. Is that right?
Yep. I got to get my application sent off within the week. So.
Okay. That is great. And then did you mention something about star in agribusiness as well?
Yeah. I was one of 6 star agribusiness, and then I was champion agribusiness over Iowa. So
awesome, man. Congratulations. That's a phenomenal award.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Pretty nice to see those hours pay off, but it would have been fair to anybody on the stage, I think. So
yeah, good for you. Well, once you reach that level, you're right. I mean, it's just degrees of separation, right?
Yep.
It can't be easy to be a judge.
No, that was a hard job.
Yeah. Good for you, man. That's really, really exciting. Okay, so now with you going off to college and you're gonna study fabrication and engineering, or excuse me, design and engineering, How does this all tie together, or does it?
I don't know that it ties together a whole lot, but I did build the log splitter that mounts to the skid loader. So that was one kind of, I fabricated a bunch of mounting and stuff for that hydraulic system on there. I plan to just do it as a side job for as long as I do it. I'm not sure when it'll end or if it'll end or what the plan is really. I do have a brother that it would be a great SAE for him when he's in high school. So
okay, so you can mentor your brother and kind of get him started.
Yep, he helps me quite a bit as it is now. So
okay, that's awesome, man. I'm very excited for you. Well, let me ask you this before we wrap it up. Just advice for other students out there. Why should a student out there consider working for themselves instead of taking a job? What would you tell them if they asked you?
I think that if you're working for yourself, you have a lot more control over your circumstance. I guess you get to decide what equipment you're using. You know, you can do all your own research. You don't have to run something that somebody else bought. You know, you usually know what you're buying and what you're going to be running. That's what I would say. The decisions, it's not always about not taking orders, but it's about, I think working for yourself helps you later in life with all the decisions you're going to be making later in life, like investments and time management and all that fun stuff.
That sounds pretty true to me. Elliot, this has been great. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here, everybody. And thank you again to Elliot Scheaffer for coming on the Off-Farm Income Podcast and sharing that great information with us. Hey, we'd love to have you click that subscribe button down below and become a subscriber to our YouTube channel and connect with us on social media as well. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And everybody, until next time, enjoy your journey to the ultimate lifestyle business, agriculture.